Ah, sacred time. What better time than right now at this moment? So we back. And I know y'all didn't see me in a couple days. Reason being, it's because I had some business I had to take care of. Let alone that, I had to take some time to just reflect, kind of reassess some things. Yeah, but we back. Alright, so check me out. Alright, I got another 4-card spread here. Alright, quick briefing. If you haven't, actually, you're just now getting on this channel, you're just meeting Sacred Timing. Look, I'm gonna say that I've used these cards to the best of my ability. Alright, the way I decide to use these cards to develop a spread, I have 2 decks. Alright, this I feel better describes synchronicity to me. Alright, so I have 2 decks here. These 2 decks that I use, I'll make a 4-card spread. Alright, in order for me to get, I guess, 1 card, I would have to use the 2 decks to come within a pair. So synchronicity draws, after I make a 4-card spread, out of both, say I'll shuffle until I get 4 cards to pop out, right? But I'm not going to just stop there. I'm going to take the other deck, like the red deck, right after I get the blue deck. And I'm going to take the red deck and I'm going to shuffle until I get an occurrence of 4 cards popping out, all right? So once I get that, out of those 2 4-card spreads, there must be a pair in there, all right? If there's not a pair, I start the process all over again, all right? So that's how I pretty much came up with these 4 cards. I had to go through the process of taking my time until synchronicity met through both decks. And then I'll actually allow that to be whatever the first pair came first. That's the first card we have for the read. Second card, the same thing, and so on, all right? So yeah, we're gonna get into it today. All right? So I'm gonna go ahead and then brief you again on, I'm gonna give you like the actual meaning of the card, all right? After I give you the meaning of the card, I'm gonna go ahead and then give somewhat of my own intuitive partake on what I feel like the spread is actually expressing in combination. I'm going to give you the meaning behind each card from another and what that kind of expresses, okay? Then I'll somewhat, if I'm led to, give a forecast on what I feel like is to come based off of the 4-card spread. If not, I'll just give my own testimony or my own experience to align with giving you a better perspective on what the cards are expressing in totality. I'm not one of those type of tarot card readers that I'm not too into domestics, and I'm not into too much into personal affairs when it comes down to or domestic situations like what this person and that person is doing or up to. I'm not into that. You know, I'm not into people. I'm not into people business, like trying to be into people business. We're just going to, on this channel, focus on ourselves. All right, this is the main thing it's about here. We're just trying to focus on the betterment of ourselves. All right, and if you're with me on that, man, come along, man. You know, this is all about our own self-improvement, and we're gonna focus on ourselves and our journey. All right. Now, when it comes down to individuals that are to come, we're not gonna get into what they own and these people, they people, who this female up to and whatnot. We're not even. So, I mean, if you're looking for that type of reader, you got to go to another channel for that. All right. I'm just sorry to say that. I'm not in nobody's business like that. All right. We're just speaking about how God is expressing His emotion to us. You know, that's pretty much through the synchronicity of all things. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into it, man. I hope you guys ready for the journey, man. We're about to get off into this first card here, all right? So the first card we got here is the 4 clubs, okay? The core meaning of the 4 clubs is stability, effort, and laying down foundations. This card reflects creating a secure base through focused work and planning. It can also signify a moment of pause to celebrate small accomplishments. Okay, the context in the spread, though, being that this is the first card, it indicates pretty much the whole. Well, this kind of like is the fort. Well, this sets the tone to the whole spread. So anytime we have the first card, it's always setting the tone to the first spread. To the whole spread. All right. So the context in this here is being that this first card, it indicates the importance of focusing on stability. All right, or building a foundation for future success. All right, it sets the stage for the emotional and mental challenges to come, such as the whole spread. All right, let's get into the second card. Second card here, we got 3 of Hearts. All right, the core meaning for this is like emotional growth, harmony, a social connection. This card suggests positive developments in relationships or emotional balance, but also hints at choices or uncertainties in love or emotions. All right. The context of the spread following the Four of Clubs, the Three of Hearts suggests that emotional growth or relationships play a role in stabilizing your foundation. All right. It can also represent emotional distractions or indecisiveness that arises as you build stability, should I say? That would kind of pretty much give me somewhat of that over meaning. But then we're gonna get into third card. We have here the Nine of Spades. The core meaning for this is anxiety, worry, or challenges. The Nine of Spades often points to mental stress or fear. Points to mental stress or fear. Remember that. All right. That you may feel overwhelmed in a sense. So it may like have a fear in being or feeling overwhelmed. All right. It can also indicate a need to let go of unnecessary worries to move forward. All right. That's the Nine of Spades. The context in this spread. Position after the Three of Hearts, the Nine of Spades warns that emotional uncertainties or external pressures may lead to stress or doubt. However, it also highlights the opportunity to overcome these challenges with introspection. All right, we have the Four card. Let's go ahead and close this out. Four card is the Seven of Hearts. Okay. The core meaning for this is choices, illusions, or emotional clarity. This card often appears when faced with multiple options or conflicting emotions. It suggests the need to discern what is real and valuable. All right. Context of this spread concluding the spread, the Seven of Hearts indicates that the emotional challenges represented by the Nine of Spades, I feel, requires you to make clear, thoughtful decisions to regain emotional harmony. All right. Culminating meaning of this spread, though. This spread tells a story of building stability and facing emotional and mental challenges that requires clarity and discernment. It suggests progress through efforts, emotional growth, and the ability to navigate illusions or conflicting emotions. All right. Key themes: building stability. All right, that's in the Four of Clubs. It focuses on creating a strong foundation. This is what it's expressing in life, whether in relationship, work, or personal growth. All right, we have in like the emotional growth aspect of the Three of Hearts. Relationships and emotional connections are important, but they may also bring moments of uncertainty or distraction, which would make you face or would cause you to face challenges. All right, such as the Nine of Spades, which addresses worries and or challenges with courage. All right, or form of insecurity in a way, recognizing which fears are real and which are imaginary. You know, these are the things I feel would kind of line out from when you get into finding clarity of the Seven parts, which brings about a discernment and emotional clarity, which concludes everything, which are needed to overcome these challenges and make sound decisions, you know? All right, let's get into like the aspect behind each card. I'm gonna say like the Three of Hearts behind the Four of Clubs, pretty much it's already self-explanatory, I'm seeing, but I'm just going to go ahead and clarify the emotional growth of the Three of Hearts. Supports the foundational stability of the Four of Clubs. So it's like this combination suggests that stable relationships or balanced emotions are clear to establishing long-term security. When we get in like to the, I see the Nine of Spades behind like the Three of Hearts. Okay. Nine of Spades highlights the emotional uncertainties, right? Such as like anxiety stemming from, these new, I would say stemming from like the Three of Hearts, while relationships or emotional growth are valuable. they may also bring stress or fear or of loss, so I see that's the reason for why the Nine of Spades would show. And then when we conclude seeing like the Seven of Hearts behind the Nine of Spades, that kind of reveals the anxieties of like the Nine of Spades, and are rooted in emotional choices or maybe illusions. Gaining clarity and making deliberate decisions can kind of dispel or help dispel the worries though, and bring about emotional harmony. And I say like overall, the spread might suggest a journey of balance and stability and emotional growth while addressing challenges and finding clarity. Pretty much just build a stable, base or foundation to navigate life's emotional and mental challenges. That would be like the Four of Clubs. Recognizing like emotional value, like such as growth in relationships or emotional connections, can contribute to stability, and may also bring a form of anxiety such as uncertainties, which addresses the anxiety such as like acknowledging, confronting these worries or fears. It presented by the Nine of Spades, distinguishing between what's real, like challenges, and imagined ones, right? And pretty much kind of like suggests you find clarity, like when it comes down like Seven of Hearts, using the discernment to navigate these emotional decisions, right? And focus on what truly matters, right? The spread kind of emphasizes stability and clarity are within reach. I see like, but they require effort and introspection, and thoughtful choices. So if I get into it, I'm gonna get into it. I'm just getting to it. All right. Recently, I have found myself allowing myself to be a little bit more open when it comes down to like, socializing, interacting. I'm a little bit more transparent, and I've been a little bit more transparent when it comes down to, revealing like some of my attractions to, women. I might say not like just being lavish, just hollering at every chick that I see. Nah, it's more on some like, I got out of more than one. I've been in some traumatizing relationships, right? And I didn't really cut off from like, relationship life. I feel like I just was like, no, I'm not in position to or predicament to require someone to uphold a standard based or due to the situation that I may be in life, the status that I may be in life. So I'm not going to, knowing that, I may be facing some aspects of deprivation right now in life, right? So I didn't really allow myself to go along having or engaging in such as like relationships and stuff like that. I kind of like stepped back away from the relationship thing or whatever for a while. And as far as me being able to interact, how you ever seen that movie Stella Got a Groove Back, or I'm not gonna go that old. Let's say I'm not gonna, just one of those type of relationships with movies or whatever, where you see persons getting out of the date game for a while and they kind of lose their mojo. I just wanted to exercise whether or not I was, am I still open to take risks? Am I really actually healed from these traumas? You know what I'm saying? And will it be somewhat of an influence on, or would it play a part or affect whatever I do take on in the near future, right? And I kind of decided to be like, okay, I'm going to take these risks. I'm going to, actually be a little bit more transparent. I'm going to step out there. And it was me just showing God that I'm not binded by what happened in the past. I'm okay with that. I'm okay. And I'm like very compassionate enough to, I'm very compassionate to where, I'll give the person the leverage to grow, or step into the knowing or a better comprehension of my love language, should I say, right? And
Basically, I know that I'm healed, but I never really went through the necessary motions of showing God that, right? So, hey, I had these experiences, right, where I kind of made proposals, in a sense. I just kind of, I pursued, like, the last couple months, I done pursued, like, probably 4 girls in the last, like, 4 months, right? Like, and it's like, once I kind of, put myself out there or whatever, I go through, I guess God was showing me if I was okay with being rejected. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it was never really something that ever affected me. You know what I mean? I never really had that problem, of rejection. And I think, I just, kind of shook the dust off my feet, moved on, and there was never nothing that played a part of me just shutting myself out from interacting with the next female that I felt or I found valuable, or I had the potential to, sustain or was fit enough to, kind of like, bring out love and reciprocity, right? So the last occurrence or situation I went through, I see these things, right? And I guess like me showing that I was stable in one aspect, showing that that falls as far as the 4 club. Then I kind of felt like I recognized, like, my emotional growth and maturity over the years of how I'm able to, or how fit I am, God was showing me, to be able to just pretty much grow past things, and those inconveniences were never something that I felt like was in vain either. So I never kind of had reached a point of dismay through these experiences, you know what I'm saying? And then I think I did have an occurrence of certain anxieties where, just being human, when it comes down to, like, wondering whether or not am I being too deep, maybe, for a woman. Just right off back, I feel like I should be just that authentic to actually express how earnest I am about how I articulate myself. I'm very compassionate and earnest enough to get myself across clearly to an individual, man. And I'm not the type of person that just, I don't like cliche things. I don't like to just be so superficial and just speak in layman's terms about things that I feel like needs to be articulated effectively. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like I kind of experienced somewhat of anxieties of whether or not I should kind of draw back in my authenticity. And I'm like, nah, like, I need to be a little bit more firm in how I implement myself in absoluteness, in all absoluteness. And I kind of feel that my ability to pretty much stay grounded and just have that clarity. I felt like I've just recently, like yesterday, I posted a video on my other channel, God's Harness, and I felt like, I felt like I need to address that. I'm fit and I'm healed. I'm fit to take risks. I don't know about everybody else and how they go about their necessary method of, realizing if they're healed or not. But sometimes you can only learn by getting back on that bike again and riding. You know what I'm saying? So it's like my ability to recuperate I've learned that it accelerated a lot faster than what I've ever been in my life. And I think that just comes through just time and experience of just, experiencing your ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? So whenever I come across like rejection or something like that, I'm fine with just agreeing to disagree and moving on. You know what I mean? I'm okay with that. I can really actually go past things like that. And so it's like, with that being said, like I can, I don't know. I feel like just me being able to recuperate as fast as I have ever been in my life shows that I've exceeded in my growth far beyond what I expected of myself, and I received that type of clarity, such as like the 7 of Hearts. But yeah, man, I think that's, an experience all in itself of how I feel the spread was expressing or bringing about the confirmation in as far as my growth, whenever that can conclude a lot for me through the spread. Now, if I speak on like parts in the aspect of giving you a forecast, it's pretty much just letting you know to just actually have a stable mind and being able to navigate your emotional or mental challenges. You know what I'm saying? I believe that's what the spread is actually preparing you for whatever occurrence or situation or circumstance you may be coming to or step into, to actually have that stable mind to be able to address the situation with a more firm and emotional stability or maturity in that aspect of being able to accept correction, being grown up to accept correction, or just being grown enough to agree to disagree, and just gradually move on. It's okay to have those fears. It's okay to have those anxieties, but that also will just give you or raise your awareness in certain areas that you may need to work on. If you still having these type of fears, just step into yourself of just acknowledging and being an observation, a mere observation of these type of challenges or fears that you actually have. And once you acknowledge these things, I feel like you're going to step right into your own and knowing how to address it a lot better once you actually, take yourself through the necessary emotions or experiences of whatever endeavor that is to know how to respond rightly. So, with that being said, man, I feel like that was a good enough forecast. I feel when it comes down to those spreads, man, I think it was real. It's real brief. It's real small, man. So I'm just gonna let that, conclude our message for the day, man. I'm glad to see, you guys are back with me, and I appreciate the time. And again, man, please like, share, subscribe. You already know, man. Give me a comment, your feedback on how you feel this spread may have impacted you. And I pray that this information has aided and assisted you in a great way in your endeavor in life, and this takes you to a higher perspective on you and your God. And with that being said, until next time, man, you know what to do, man. Share my content, man, and continue to support me, man. I love you, man. I'm out.